I think lately the feedback has been very promising because I think finally we are getting to a point where it's sort of clear in the industry of what personal AI is and what it meant to be and the choices of the platform that we have designed. So one of the most interesting thing is if people are coming to personal AI for instant gratification, they will be disappointed because it's not a service. It's not a pre-trained model. You can just get something out of it real quickly. It is about lasting gratification. If you invest 4 to 8 hours of time within your own personal AI model, the level of experience and the depth of connection that you will have with your own AI that represents who you are and how many places it can stand in is dramatically different. So the people who are happy are very happy, like they're really happy. People who want are seeking instant gratification, there are a lot of other tools for like immediate quick tasks to be done. So I think our mindsets need to be aligned, and I think there are specific kinds of people specifically who focus on personal development, growth, and who kind of embraces this idea that you have to train to run faster, then they are the ones who are winning. Ethical implications are probably one of the first things when we discussed when we were creating this core pillars of personal AI, because we are talking a lot in here, and specifically these are the characteristics and traits that belong or that are entitled to a particular people, like a person, like human beings, right? So the idea of the memory is important. So we got to make it private, we got to make it personal, we got to make it theirs. And the core pillars around not being able to share the data, not being able to use the data for any other purpose comes down to the ethical implications. The idea of the responsibility in terms of what AI can, I think for the first time, we are putting in the hands of the people, which I think is more ethical than a group of people or organizations defining what ethics means in a particular model. Because at the end of the day, as you start aggregating the data, there is eventually going to be some bias based on who are the people who are working on it and what kinds of data sources that you have. And it's the mercy of some backend systems that are putting together and some scripts and a group of people that are doing labeling based on what they think is right. So from our perspective, the idea of the ethics is, hey, look, as a society, what is ethical to you in particular region or particular country may be different from one other region, one other country, and now it is in your hands. It's not in the hands of big tech, it's not in the hands of platforms, it's not in the hands of us defining what it is, but it's in the hands of you. So I think it's much more closer to people's principles and beliefs and the law that goes alongside with it, because technically you are responsible for your actions. So that is the approach that we have taken, right? Rather than being the big, I guess there's a specific word for it, like God's eye view of everything. We are taken to give that control and give that control to the people. We architected the system at a very foundational level to be compliant in regards to respecting the privacy, which we discussed a lot today. In addition, I think as the company grows, we do have a commitment to making things like GDPR compliant. Every compliance requires some investment and some money, but the good news is we are already designed to be able to do that without much work and much issues, because that's the company that we want to be. In addition, there may be a future that will go through like HIPAA compliance for healthcare related, but it's likely a little bit farther out in terms of company's journey when that will happen. So yeah, I think more importantly, as long as we stick to our foundations, the processes and the procedures, and giving people ability to download their memory and their model are the mechanics that will eventually be available for everybody per our promise in our terms of service, so people can actually look at our terms of service and see that, oh, okay, this is mine. For small businesses particularly, their moat is their personal brand, and their personal brand is their currency. And being able to elevate their organizational brand or a business brand or their own personal brand means more value that they can create to their people around them, right? So when it comes down to augmenting yourself or scaling yourself with your own personal data, there's no better choice than choosing personal and all the characteristics that comes with it. So if you care about saving time, increased access, or even scaling your own cognition because you have your own memory to do your work, then yeah, personal AI is for you. And if you're not capturing your memory yet, I would say this is the time for everybody to do that. Otherwise, we will see an Internet 3.0, that is another social AI network where nobody owns anything. And 10 years from now, we'll be looking back and say, what do we need to do differently? Well, the people who made a choice to build their own models will be living in forever.